Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's time for June's mission inspiration, and the random prompt chosen for this month was fake it. So I'll put the prompt card on the screen now so you can have a look. So recreate a famous painting in your own style using whatever medium you want to. There you go. So no guesses for who I've chosen for my inspiration for my art journal page for June's mission inspiration. So let me turn over to my other camera and show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so in the past I've recreated such famous paintings such as Van Gogh's Starry Night. I've also had a crack at Edvard Munch, The Scream in the past. So this is the first time that I've had a go at doing something as classic as the Mona Lisa. So what I've done is I've already printed off the image. You can already see that there are some shiny lines on there. I have already kind of made a start, to be honest. And what I've done is I've taped it just to the side of the page there, and on the back I've run over with my pencil, just like that, and I've just added a little bit of that graphite onto the back of the page, like so. And the only reason I've already made a start is because I wanted to make sure that this paper wasn't too thick and that this graphite pencil was dark enough for me to be able to do what I wanted to do. So I had to kind of do a quick tester off camera just to make sure I wasn't going to make a fool of myself. So that's the reason why I've kind of already made a start. It was just an exploratory, does it actually work? Now, if you're wanting to transfer an image from a picture like this, then obviously thinnish printer paper works really well. So and also if you can get, or if you've got a pencil which is a bit heavier, this is a just bog standard HB pencil, but if you can get yourself like a 2B or a 3B, so it's softer, you will get a darker image coming off this. The H side of the pencils are the harder, so if you think H for hardness, then you really can't go wrong. So you want a B pencil, so a 2B or a 3B, or even a 4B if you can get hold of one. Most drawing pencil sets have a nice variety. So what I've done, like I said, I taped, put a little bit of tape on the side, and then all I've done is just flipped over. Now these little marks on the side, just so that I know exactly where to line the page back up again if I do end up moving it, which is what I've done. And then I've just gone over the actual image, put in a little bit of pressure just to kind of show me where things are on the page. So just draw the hands, and of course you don't have to be a perfect drawer to get the benefit of this kind of way of drawing. That's the total benefit. So if I just lift that up now, you'll be able to see that I've transferred the hand. It might be a little bit too light for you to be able to see, so I might need to go over just a teeny little bit more. Just on the fingers there, because obviously she's sat on a chair. And then that's the folds. And we've got the folds of a garment coming down there. And then we've got the side of her hair there. So if I pull that back, we can now see we've got a little bit more. Just come round there. And that's probably better. I've got her bosom about there, and the rest of her arm sort of about there. So this is really just placement. I'll do that for a hair just coming over her shoulder there. Look, the point of my pencil's just fallen off. It's just fallen out the side of the pencil. So if I just move that now, you can just about see where I've been. So I probably need to put a little bit more graphite down here, just where her hands are. Go a bit heavier, and then I can move back, make sure I put the paper back down where it's supposed to be, and then I can come back round again. Just with those marks where I've already been. With the fingers. And like I said, we don't have to be perfect. That's a thumb, and then just the folds of a gown, and around the back. Yes, I'm going to have to resharpen my pencil, aren't I? Let's just lift that up again just to see whether those lines have thickened a bit. You can see them a bit better now. So what I can do is I can come back in with my pencil now and just roughly kind of sketch it back in. Thumb, fingers, hand, chair, and the other hand comes down there. Just over the edge of the chair like so. And then we've got this, that's where her hair comes down, that's where her hair comes down. We've pretty much got the entire kind of shape and outline. Now then, landscape. There, some of the rocks. I do need to get another pencil. Is that one there? It is, but it's almost blunt. Hang on a sec, let me just have a quick sharpen and then I'll be right back. Nope, that's chewed. This is probably one of those pencil sharpeners that doesn't work. Yeah, that'll do. So where were we? Oh, we've pretty much got quite a decent landscape there. Trees or whatever it is in the background. Because obviously there's some weird perspectives going on in the painting, which has been the source of speculation for years. But don't forget, this is in your own style. So I wouldn't get too precious about it. Just fun with it. That's all you can really do. There we go. I think that's it there. And you notice I've stayed away from the face for now. Okay, so she's going to come down there. Alright, so now here's the fun bit. Trying to kind of get that face in. I'll never get it right. I will never do it justice. So I'm not even going to attempt to even try and get it perfect. It'll just never happen. So hopefully that's given me some kind of idea of where the face is. There we go. So but at least we've got something to reference. There we go. Something for us to have a go at. So I can now remove there we go. And just keep that as a reference painting or as a reference drawing, and then we can just use that. And I think we're done, because all that then is in shadow. Side of a face. It's pretty much in shadow. Now obviously there's a little bit of kind of hair, and that's where sort of the parting is down the middle, so that's fine. So when I get to bring my colours in here, then I'll know sort of where I'm going. That was a bit harsh for that rubber. So that marks her bosoms. There we go. I think I'm going to be fairly happy-ish with just doing a bit of kind of landscape behind that. I'm not going to try and recreate it exact, because it'll just never happen. But, you know, a little bit of landscape. And I'm definitely no Bob Ross, so that'll do. That will do. We've got the folds for her gown there. So she's obviously got something over her shoulder. But the rest of it is kind of lost in shadow, which is fine. I'm okay with that. So all I have to do now is to decide how I'm going to fill this in. Now, shall I watercolour it, or shall I think we will. I think we'll have a go at watercolour. Okay. Like I've said before, I'm no watercolourist, so I'm just going to play and just see how it kind of transpires. So I'm just adding some water to the sky at the back, and then we'll just play and see what happens. So I'm just mixing a little bit of ochre and yellow, a little bit of water. I'm just going to add that to the background. And it's really going to turn into more of an exercise in not necessarily futility, but just an exercise in colouring, really. And I'm going to add a little bit of green just into the top, just for a bit of variety, just so it's not wholly kind of yellow. A bit of water in there. Okay, so I'm just add a bit of water. This cotton rag in the Deakin Weekly Journal is not really it's not really conducive for watercolours. I'll tell you that much. A little bit of grey in there, so we'll just in the background, and we can always add a little bit of a bit too much there. A bit more green, I think. Pick of that viridian, bit of the green. Definitely a bit too bright, but that's okay. Bit of blue. And I'm just kind of diffusing it. I'm just trying to break up the colour a little bit. And it's not meant to be a faithful recreation, it's just having a play and just seeing what, if anything, you can create, just to kind of see what I can do. So, and I'm going to kind of stick to the same brush colour palette, just add in extra colours, so a little bit of yellow, a bit of reds, and just see, you know, what it brings to the party, if you like. It may not bring anything at all. A bit of water, a little bit of darkness, because this is the bit which is kind of in a lot of shadow. So a little bit of brown. Definitely not enough water. And then we've got kind of skin tones, yellowish. just in this kind of bosomy area, and it does disappear under her chin. So I'm just block colouring in. Because if that is a bit too dark, I can lighten it. A tiny little bit of darkness. Definitely no watercolourist. But I'm having fun, and that's the main, I think. It's seeing what you can kind of create, even if you're not particularly all that good. And I'm definitely not all that good. Right, let's get some hands in. So just block colours, and we'll start with a few darkers, a little bit of white, maybe just throwing a bit of yellow just to warm that up a little bit. There's a little bit of lightness there as it comes down. Off that gown there. And then it kind of disappears into darkness again. So I'll grab a little bit of the dark, a bit of the yellow, and then we'll just start to kind of feed that darkness in a little bit. It's kind of the chair arm there. So I'll make that just a tad darker. And I'm not particularly bothered about letting it, or making sure that all the colours don't jar, because don't forget we're doing this in our own style. So I think I need to get some clean water. So let me just go change my water and then I'll be right back. So I've just discovered the camera stopped recording for the last few minutes. So it missed me just filling in this area and adding a few dark areas on the bottom of the page there. So you didn't really miss that much. So what I want to do, I also just started to add in a little bit of detail using a Pigma Micron pen, just to kind of highlight some of the details in there. So that's where I was at when I suddenly realised it stopped recording. I know, technology, eh? So, like I said, we didn't really miss a huge amount. So this was the Micron pen. So what I want to do is just start adding in just some of that kind of detail, and then just to kind of reinforce some of those lines, just so we can, just to kind of give it a bit more definition. So obviously with these being done in your own style, you can adapt your own style of art journaling to whatever painting style you want, really. So right, and as I don't do a huge amount of freehand kind of like watercolour painting, then I'm kind of fairly at liberty to play about with whatever kind of style that I want. And then what we can do is, when we've got a little bit of the detailing in, I can bring some pencils in and we can start adding in a bit of shade. So that's the beauty of doing it this way. As you kind of can add as much sort of detail into your drawing as you want. There we go. Not a great hand drawer, but at least I've got a little bit of detail. Now I can add some of the detail in on the face in a little while. So what I want to do, let's just carry on just adding a little bit of kind of detail in that background. So you can add whatever kind of like doodly detail that you want to in the background. It's entirely up to you. That's why I love doing this kind of thing. And then just a little bit of a detail on her bosom. The bosoms. Okay, so and then just bring some of that hair detail just kind of down there. And then I'll just turn the page round and then I can we can bring that. Okay, because she's wearing a kind of translucent kind of veil-y thing over her head, if I remember rightly. That's what these lines are here. So I can bring that down and then just kind of just do some wispy kind of hairs. Okay, I think I'm fairly happy with that. Yes, I'm deliberately leaving some of the detail on a face. And then there we go. Just a suggestion of what's actually there in the actual painting. Love it. There is a bridge somewhere in that background. Like I said, I'm not going to go mad with the detail. I think it's the Devil's Bridge. That's what it was called, I think. And then we can just add in maybe just a little bit of detail to suggest that fabric. And then that can disappear off. And then do the same thing with some of those kind of creases in the fabric here. And they kind of disappear off down there as well. Into the darkness, as it were. Okay, so what happened to that pencil? Any ideas? Oh, there it is. Right. So I can now start just bringing in a little bit of that shadow. Now, do I need to bring in my charcoal pencils? Ta-da! Okay, so we've got medium. So maybe just to add in let's see, just get them activated a bit. I'm losing the top surface of the paper. And for some reason, this Dina Wakley mixed media or multi-surface journal does not like water, which is odd considering what it's supposed to be. So, okay, so shade up here, the eyes, and then cheekbones, and then down towards the jawline. And then in here. And then a little bit down there. Yeah, it is actually bringing up the top surface. And I don't like it. I don't like it one tiny little bit. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Excuse the rattle. Alright, so these are some Albrecht Dürer. Are they? And it says Pablo on there, so perhaps they're not what I thought they were. We've got a dark one. It's not black. Oh, that's not very good. I'll have to speak to my supplier. No black. Oh poo. Right, okay. I'm going to have to just use ordinary pencil then, aren't I? And just see if we can add in some, like we did with a pen, a bit of both. Okay. little bit of shadow. Yeah, doesn't really blend perfectly, this pencil, but it's just going to make everything look really sort of grungy and dirty, I think. Nah. Yeah. But I suppose that's okay. Just gives it a little bit of depth. Just a wee bit of depth. Of course, I am obviously running in the danger of forgetting to talk again, so so I think most of these fingers along there, and then we've got shadow. Mostly this in darkness anyway, so and then let's see if we can just darken this bit up here a little bit. I think doing it on top of the watercolours has kind of softened the surface, obviously, of the paper, but you know, unless you actually start playing with different mediums in your journal to see what the pages can handle, you're never really going to know. So, you know, just have a go and see what happens. I think actually in the background there's some more kind of rock formations. But that's okay. We can pretty much do what we want because it's in your style or our style. That'll do. That'll do, I think. So, okay, so let's do some shading up here on the eye, just around that kind of corner there, and then a little bit up here, a little bit just under the eye there, and then I can just blend that a little bit, and then I can come in just with, and we'll just do that, just kind of under lip. And then And this is probably when I spoil it. There we go, you see. I've just made it go all kind of skew with. Can't really see. You see, I've made the big mistake of putting her eye in the wrong place. But that's okay, because no, that's not going to work. Oh. That don't work either, does it? I've just made her look like an alien. Oh dear me. What can you do? Not a lot. So I have to see if I can try and paint out that bit there, where I've just made her look like she's been punched in the face. Let's grab some water and some watercolour and just see whether I can lift it. I don't think it's wet enough. See, if I had some gouache, I probably could have got away with it. There we go. I might now just be able to redo that in a mo. But at the minute, she's looking a bit fat, isn't she? So I just need to re-imagine that face shape as well. And just darken that off. Just kind of need to leave that to dry a little bit before I can come back in with that detail. Now what did I do with that paintbrush? There it is. So let's just take some more of that white and just see whether or not we can just lighten that area up. And then just give her a little bit of a lighter lip. There we go. And where else can we add a few highlights? I don't really think there needs to be anymore. I just need to be able to cover that rubbish bit of painting up. Just grab a little bit of yellow. Okay, so just let that dry for a second or two. And I think I'm nearly ready just to add the finishing touches. So I just need to finish that eye off and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've allowed it to dry just enough just to be able to kind of come back in with that pencil, and I'm hoping that I'm not going to have to do it again. I think that's pretty much actually where I want to be. It's looking a bit big, so maybe I do need to come back in just a little bit. That white again, and then maybe just take that out. Just give her a little catch light. And then I can come back in. It's not too bad. You know, this watercolour, as it gets a little bit too... We're nearly there. I think we're nearly there. I can see her in there. Let me just get it dried and I'll be right back. Right. Let me see whether I can just coax her. Maybe she's a bit too high. Ah, by Jove, I think we have it. Yeah, I think so. Maybe the catch light's in the wrong place, so let's just get rid of that, and then okay, just need to add that catch light back in again. I think the top of her eye may be slightly too big. This is the kind of fine tuning and fine finessing that you can obsess over for ages and ages and ages. But you've got to decide when kind of enough's enough. For me, I just want a little bit more. I want to be able to see her in there, and at the minute I can, but I can't, if you know what I mean. I think maybe that eye is definitely just a tad too big. Ah, now then. I think I'm gonna be a bit happier with that. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that, and I think I'm gonna just leave that for a little while before I come back in and just add a little catch light in those eyes. I don't think the original one has one, but I can't tell on my original painting because I've got pencil all over it now. She probably doesn't have catch lights, but what the heck, I'm going to put them in anyway because this actually is my drawing, my style, and that's the point. That's it. Might look a bit skew-whiff now, as though she's looking off to one side. But I think I'm happy with the way that's turned out with my little faux masterpiece. I'm going to leave it as it is. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to sign it at the bottom here now and have done with it. So what's today's date? Because yes, I am doing this well in advance because I've got a very busy week. It's the 29th of May. But I think I'm going to leave it at that. So that's it for me. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me create that fake Mona Lisa. And don't forget, you can join us over on our Mission Inspiration Facebook group and join in the fun. The 2 challenges every month. Main mission at the beginning of the month, and then the mid-month mini mission, strangely enough, 2 weeks after in the middle of the month. So Facebook group is on the screen now, but there's a clickable link in the description area below if you want to come over and join us for more art challenges like this one. So, and I've just realised I haven't done something. I am always doing this. I'm always doing this. There's something I've forgotten to do to make this into my style. So I've got one other little step to do first, and then I'll be right back. Hang on. Okay, so I've cut Mona out. I've got some white acrylic ink, and I've got a fan brush. Let's get some water. And of course, to make this in my style, I've got to have a few splatters. Okay, so guess what? They've all just disappeared. They've all vanished into... Excuse me a moment. This is rubbish. Yeah, most of them have disappeared into that background. So that acrylic ink, I'll just show you which one I used. The De La Rowney Artist Acrylic Ink. Yeah, just disappeared into the background. So probably I need something to float on the surface a bit more. But we'll work out what it is. So, like I said, that'll do for now. I'll see you all again real soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.